Good morning, beautiful people. And Kamala Harris, welcome to J-Tech Studios, baby. So today we want to run you through a very quick analysis of the assassination attempts allegedly against Donald J. Trump, probably the next president of the United States of America.
If you don't get killed.
If you don't get killed. And that's really what we're looking at here. If you will go to the screen, the first attempt, this is from the Washington Examiner. Iran-tied Pakistani national Asif merchant pleaded not guilty on Monday to terrorism and murder for hire charges for his alleged involvement in a plot to assassinate former President Donald J. Trump. Merchant arrived in the United States in April after spending time in Iran and allegedly reached out to someone he thought could assist him in killing a politician. The person he contacted reported this to law enforcement, and Merchant later met with hitmen who were really undercover FBI agents, leading to his arrest in July. So originally there was, I think this was on July 12th. I believe this was before Trump truly was almost assassinated with an actual bullet that did catch his ear. So we want to go to the second assassination attempt, which was, if you go to the screen, the second assassination attempt from Thomas Matthew Crooks on July 13th, which was my birthday, by the way. I remember it clearly. It was in the middle of my party. We had some friends, some family over. I got a text, I think, from you, John, and I think I called you, and you had told me, man, somebody took a
crazy day.
It was a crazy day. And so I ran back inside, flipped on the TV, opened the back door, and I said to my family, hey, I think Trump was just assassinated or shot. So this picture is of Thomas Matthew Crooks on July 13th. He shot Trump in the air, successfully making contact with them. If it was just a centimeter over closer to his head, Donald Trump would most likely be dead at this moment. He also killed one civilian who was a fireman as well, as he let his bullets rain out into the crowd. Now, if you would, we're going to go to the third assassination attempt. This was Ryan Wesley Ruth on Sunday, September 15th, allegedly attempted to assassinate Trump at the Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach, Florida. This is the golf course that it happened at. I believe he was at
the fifth hole.
The fifth hole, right here. At 1:30 p.m., Trump was
fixing to make a birdie
on the fifth hole of the course right here. Trump did say he was upset when he had to leave the course because he was fixing to make a birdie. I believe the suspect was right here in the bushes. This is where a lot of paparazzi tend to sit and wait to get photographs of Trump while he's playing golf. Apparently, it is a very well-known area that the Secret Service knows about, that has like a clearing and a clean shot to the hole right here on the course. For some reason, there was no drone that I know about, infrared, nobody checking the perimeter in any of these bush lines to determine if there was somebody at large that could potentially do him harm. What we would
this
like.
Was also it was like a spur of the moment type of golf outing. Nobody knew he was going to be there.
Yeah, this was a impromptu golf outing. So now we're going to show a few pictures of Ryan Wesley Ruth, who is the guy who did have was it an M16 he had? What kind of weapon
It's
was
an
it?
AK-47.
An AK-47. He had two bags with armor inside the bags that looked like they were zip tied to the fence to provide him shields if he were to get into a shoot off with the Secret Service or the police. He had the barrel of his actual gun that was sticking through the bushes in the fence, waiting to take a shot. He had been sitting there, I heard, for approximately 12 hours waiting for Trump to come along so he could get a clean line of sight to shoot him. 12 hours in the bushes, and nobody noticed this man sitting here at all. He then, Secret Service was checking out the hole in front of Trump that he was about to move to, which would be hole 6. The Secret Service agent somehow miraculously saw the muzzle of the gun sticking through the bushes, which is incredible because it's very hard to spot.
Freaking miracle.
Miracle. A bird could have flown by and thrown him off, and it could have all been over. But he saw it. He started firing at the muzzle of Ryan Wesley Roof's gun. At that point, Ryan Wesley Roof, the would-be assassin, took off on foot, sprinted to his vehicle. A lady found it suspicious for some odd reason and decided to follow him. She then pulled up behind him and started photographing the vehicle that he was in, getting perfect pictures of not only the license plate, the back of the car, the make, the model, and all that, and sent it to the sheriff, I believe. And at that point, they obviously chased him down, caught up with them, and they did finally arrest this man, Ryan Wesley Ruth. And he had been taken into custody. There are some strange things that has come out about him. This man has no money in his pocket. I think they say he had like $64 in the bank, a bungalow in Hawaii, a couple work trucks in Hawaii, and I think another house somewhere else, but he had no money. He had been flying back and forth from Ukraine to the United States. He had been recruiting Afghan, Pakistani, and other soldiers from other countries to come and fight in the war in Ukraine. It's very odd how this man had so many ties and connections and was able to travel back and forth from the U.S. to Ukraine, make these kind of connections down there, get almost basically soldier-like armed mercenaries from other countries like Pakistan and other places. I mean, I don't know how he would even have the connections or the capability to even make something like that happen. But he was over there fighting, I guess, as a civilian on behalf of Ukraine. I watched on the news last night that this guy had talked several times to this nurse down there. This nurse actually ended up leaving Ukraine because she felt uneasy about what he was telling her. He was acting sporadically. He was talking a lot about killing world leaders. He talked about killing Putin. He talked about killing Biden. He talked about killing Trump. He talked about killing other world leaders. I believe he did also mention Biden, so I threw it in there because that's from my memory. But this guy was acting erratic. He was acting crazy, and we don't know a whole lot about him yet. But we do know that this gentleman right here, that is the face of the latest target against Donald J. Trump.
Well, I would also like to point out both of these would-be shooters tie into BlackRock. They were both in BlackRock commercials.
And you say both, you are talking to or about Thomas Crooks, who caught the ear of Trump, and Ryan Wesley Ruth. Now, I would like to move to another thing that we just came about today. John brought to my attention. So at Trump's rally at the Linda Ronstadt Music Hall in Tucson, Arizona on September 12th, there could have potentially been another attempt on Trump's life. Several news outlets have reported on this, including the one we are fixing to watch from Tucson's local Channel 4 News, who say the rally was set up so that 48 exclusive attendees could stand on the stage with Trump. They were then split into two groups, one on stage right and one on stage left. The group on stage left reported no symptoms or anything suspicious, but according to a report from News 4 in Tucson, their local news, several people in the group on stage right left the rally with excruciating pain in their eyes. And we do have a clip of that.
I believe they said 20 out of 24.
That's incredible. It's like chemical warfare almost. Like, what happened? Was he targeted and somehow it ended up catching these Trump supporters who stood behind him? We don't know. So let's play this video and we will wrap it up. Without further ado, we bring to you the video. Let's go.
Supporters of former President Donald Trump that were allowed to sit behind his stage at his Tucson rally last week tell the News 4 Tucson investigators they left with mysterious injuries to their eyes. News 4 Tucson's chief investigative reporter Course Nylander is live outside the Tucson Music Hall downtown. Course, what are we learning about their situation?
Crazy.
Well, Monica, this is where thousands of people came out to hear former President Donald Trump speak last week. There was a group of 48 people allowed to sit on stage behind Trump throughout the event. They were split into two groups on each side of the stage. One side seemed to walk away without any issues, but multiple people seated near each other on the other side tell me that they had to go to the emergency room after they left the event. Here tonight, for the first time, the Trump campaign is confirming that they're investigating this situation.
Wow.
No taxes on Social Security benefits for our seniors.
More than 2,000 people filled up the Tucson Music Hall Thursday to hear Donald Trump's first speech in Tucson this campaign as Election Day nears. Some of his biggest supporters were allowed to sit behind him on stage. Supporters like Myra Rodriguez, a former director of Planned Parenthood with a notable shift to being pro-life. In 2016, she sat behind presidential candidate Hillary Clinton on stage at an event. Now she supports Donald Trump.
Now this
she
gets
enjoyed
crazy,
the rally,
y'all.
but once she left, everything changed.
As soon as we left and I step outside, I start feeling like my eyes were burning.
At first, she thought it might be allergies. She lives near Phoenix. By the time she got home, it was so bad she decided to go to the emergency room.
The emergency room staff keeps saying, from the triage nurse to the PA, and are you sure you don't get spray anything? Your symptoms look like you were sprayed something.
The News 4 Tucson investigators spoke to her the morning after the rally, Friday last week. That morning, she was nearly blind.
I can't see anything.
Wow.
When I try to open my eyes, it's like a white cloud covered. It hurts. It hurts a lot to open my eyes. I mean, I have this cold cloth that I put on and I take off all the time. But this is horrible.
She says the doctors weren't able to determine what exactly caused it. Her initial thought of allergies went out the window when she heard from several others seated next to her at the rally that also ended up seeking medical attention with the same symptoms.
It kept getting worse and worse. My eyes started watering a lot. My nose started running. Then I started feeling my face get really flushed, and then my neck felt like it was on fire. And it just progressed from there.
This
Sounds like
Tucson
pepper
woman who
spray.
doesn't want to be identified
I've
was
heard
seated
of
in the same area
microwave
behind
weapons,
Trump with her brother. Both walked
chemical
away with eye
warfare.
injuries and sought medical attention.
I was all focused on
Who
my eyes.
knows?
I mean, my eyes were red like hell, I mean, it's like, it just like unbearable.
It must be sensitive to
I
light.
couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle it.
Whatever caused it seems to be isolated to the group seated on stage right. Former Congressional District 6 candidate Kathleen Wynne was seated on the opposite side of the stage and says she and everyone she knows seated near her walked away without any issues.
We hope that there's no nefarious actors in this and that this is not a strategic hit for those that are supporting Donald Trump.
Myra reported her injuries to the Trump campaign and says she was told it was being investigated. Myra feels it's crucial for people to be made aware of what happened and what could have caused her injuries.
Obviously, what I would like is an investigation, right? That whoever that does not get away with it.
Man,
I don't want to be very clear. We do not know at this point if.
mark my words, dude. Mark my words right now. Put it back to full screen. Guys, this is serious. No political candidate, no politician in this country should ever be assassinated. It does not matter what side of the aisle that you represent, left, right, center. Nobody in this country should be assassinated. This is complete chaos that's happening to Trump right now. He's dodging bullets. He's been struck by a bullet. It feels like there's an assassination attempt on him weekly. I mean, this is outrageous. In the United States of America, this should never, ever happen. This is not a third world country. We have laws, we have rules, we have money, we have enough money to protect our politicians. This should not happen no matter who you are, no matter what candidate you are, no matter who you represent. This should never happen. I repeat, no matter if you're on the left, right, or in the center, this should not happen. We as Americans should all be outraged. It does not matter if you love or hate Trump. He has been elected to this position to race against Kamala Harris by half the country, okay? We cannot call for violence to take out our political leaders. I'm completely outraged by it. I'm disgusted by it. This is complete and utter bullish.
You know, honestly, I don't know if that was an actual assassination attempt, but that definitely would took Trump out of campaigning for the next week or two.
He would still go. He would go blind. This guy's a soldier, man. This guy loves America. Donald Trump is a patriot. The amount of people that come out and support him and show him love, and the amount of love that he has for the people of this country, not just one type of person, all people. He loves them all. If you think that he's going to kill democracy, you are dead wrong. You should not take his life out because you think democracy will die if he gets presidency. He's already been president for 4 years. Our lives were all much better because of it. If you claim he's a racist, then bring it to our comments below. I want to freaking see it. You show me proof of how he's a racist. If you think he's a misogynist, if you think he's a this, or you think he's a that, then bring the proof to the table. If not, shut your damn mouth up. You have anything else you want to add?
You know, over the weekend, I went to a concert.
Yeah.
Paid money to see Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper. And I'm looking around. It's an outdoor event. You know, 3 years ago, I went to a Trump rally here in Conroe. And the amount of people that were at the Trump rally and then the amount of people that was at Rob Zombie is like Trump had way, way more people. They had people coming from all over Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, coming into Conroe to see Trump. It took 6 hours to make a 20-minute drive. Mm-hmm. It was insane.
That's how loved
everybody
he is.
was happy to sit there for 6 hours.
Yep. All this bullshit about
people were honking horns, playing patriotic music. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I didn't make it to that rally. My parents did. They loved it. You loved it. And you were willing to make that. I won't make that. I won't wait 6 hours for a concert to get in. I won't do it. I don't care who the artist is. But people will line up all day long to see Donald Trump.
Hey, but I do want to make another comment, though. While I was at this show, every one of those bands that I saw, it was Filter, Ministry, Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie, every one of them had American flags blazing on the stage.
I'm glad, because when I knew you were going to the concert, I was going to ask you afterwards. You know, I was wondering, would it be patriotic or not? I don't know how, you know, Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper feel about Trump, or at least about being patriotic and supporting the country by supporting the flag. And I was happy to hear when you told me that they did.
Well, you know, they tried to cancel out Alice Cooper a while back.
I didn't know that.
You didn't hear that story?
I did not hear it.
About the whole, he wasn't supporting that whole trans thing.
Yeah. So they tried to cancel
him out.
Why has he got to be canceled? Just because he doesn't believe, or just because he is not the biggest fan or supporter of something? Is that what our country's come to? Like, we can't have differences. You can't like one thing and I like another thing. You can't like chocolate ice cream and I like vanilla. You know, you can't like Coke. You like Dr. Pepper and I like Coke. I mean, we can't have differences. Isn't that what makes us unique as human beings, is that we feel differently and we're not all just clone little ticky-tacky boxes of the same thing? Come on, man. You got anything else you want to say? I'm done with this. Quit trying to assassinate our leaders. Quit trying to take hits out on Trump. And I say the same for Kamala Harris. Do not try to assassinate her either. It's complete bullish, and we're done. This is J-Tech Studios. Please hit the like, the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave us a comment below. And we love you, America, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.